What's up, y'all? So there's a lot happening right now. There's a lot happening in the world. There's a lot going on. I feel like spiritually too, and just a lot. Like there's a lot happening. You got Nolan Wells. You got Carmelo Anthony. You have the war in Iran. You have the economy, gas, food. I mean, there's a doo doo bug out here in the lettuce, in the freaking lettuce. We can't even eat a salad and be healthy right now. There's a lot happening in the world, and I feel like um, we're just in a weird place. I want people to understand like this is what happens though when you elect in bad leadership. When you have bad leadership into a place, it corrupts everything. Um, we're looking at some real dangerous times. This is why I know a lot of black people have been always saying since the beginning, since that man got elected to be the president, everybody's like build community, build community, build community because you're going to need each other. There's so many people out here who are barely making it. Some people can't pay their rent. Some people can't pay their mortgage. Some people are facing foreclosures on their houses because they've lost their job. And the job market is so bad right now. Like, so bad. Um, and if I'm being honest with you, I'm having a little hard time myself. I have a job, but it's not covering what it needs to cover right now. So I'm trying to make ends meet and do what I need to do, but things is hard right now. People are struggling. But this is why community is so important. Why it's so important for us to be together and build together. Like contaminated food, that's crazy. I'm currently now I've got on this little kick of trying to grow my own plants and own food that I eat. So I just gave my colleagues some tomatoes today off my tomato plant. I'm trying to do stuff to help build community too, because eventually we're just gonna need each other. We'll only depend on each other. We can't depend on this government to help us or to do what's right. The rich only feeds the rich. The rich only looks out for the rich. And what's also scary is people that were once in our place, once they got money or got some sense of fame, they forgot. They forgot where they came from. They forgot what it was like, and they do just what is best for them. They don't look out for those under them. That's sad to me. Because what does it prosper a man to gain the whole world and then lose his soul? So I don't know. We're in a weird place right now. I'm struggling with a lot of it. This Nolan Wells thing has really just tore me up. Um, now the new narrative now is that they're saying, he was drunk with his friends on a boat. Cool. He's 18 years old. He might not shouldn't have been drinking. Whoever bought the alcohol needs to be accounted for too and held accountable. And then two, the other part of it is if he was drunk, why did you still leave him there? Why did you leave him there? And there's a sound bite out right now that I am refusing to listen to right now just because I don't know that I can handle it emotionally. Um, but there's just so much. I feel so bad for his mom and dad right now, man, because they're having to deal with grieving their son, not knowing what happened to him. People left him. No one helped him find his body. They had to reach out to community. Now his mom is being harassed. She hasn't been to work, but people are going. White women are going on her page and putting bad reviews under her job. I just think it's quite ridiculous. All this family is asking for is accountability and what happened to their son, justice for their son. What's wrong with that? Ooh, I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was a lot of thunder. Also, there's climate change happening right now. People don't believe that. Had the wildfires in Canada that had giving us bad air quality for a little while. And these storms have been crazy. I mean, extremely strong storms, strong wind, strong rain, tornadoes, whatever else you want to call it. Um, and then, I mean, the world is just reacting. I think the earth is reacting. I think the earth reacts to what's going on with us within the spiritual realm, within the natural realm. Like, I think stuff like that happens when the world is shaking, the earth is shaking, so is the spiritual realm. There was a 7.1 earthquake in Japan recently. I think it was yesterday or this morning, or last night for them. I guess this morning for us, whatever the time zone is. But there was an earthquake recently there. Um, yeah, we're in a rocky place right now. We have to get it together. I really want us to figure out where we are, get a stance on what we need to do. All I know is that we need to continue to build community. Continue to rely on your neighbor, love your neighbor as you would love yourself. Because that's what God called us to do. And if you love your neighbor, if you love yourself, you love your neighbor. You can probably love your neighbor anyway. I really hope that we can make amends on something though, because right now it's just not looking good. Um, it's not looking good at all. And the last thing I want to say is, I know elections and stuff is coming up, and I really feel like that everybody needs to go out, and I really hope that everyone goes out to vote, and do their part and vote these evil people out, so that we can make some kind of progress. But what I'm sick of seeing, for real, is people on the left dogging out people who has fought for this joint, has fought for your rights. You may not agree with everything that they do and everything that they say. That's fine. You don't have to. Nobody says you have to. But come on, dog. Like, y'all, some of y'all are exhausting. Y'all really are exhausting, man. And then the election in 2028, yo. Right now, we really shouldn't even be thinking about that, because right now we should be worried about the midterms, making sure that we do our part in the midterm so that whoever does come in 2028, hopefully a Democrat, because these Republicans are ridiculous right now. Whoever does come, they have some help fighting back whatever this mess is that we have now. Um, and I don't want to hear a Democrat talking about, let's make peace, let's try to work with them, let's do this, do that. No, I need you to go out here and do exactly what they did in reverse. Everything that they tore down, we need you to do build back up. Hold these people accountable, prosecute every last one of them that did war crimes and did whatever else that was illegal. And just at the word of this president, because he's immune to it because of the Supreme Court, prosecute every one of them. They need to be held accountable. Their funds, everything that they have prospered, the stock market that they've manipulated, all of the things that they've done, I need you all to hold them accountable. So that's my thoughts, man. I just really hope that we can really do something different and really have something different, hopefully, in the near future. It's been hard out here, man. Like, hard. And people are struggling, yo. Um, it feels like I was a kid during this time, but I remember seeing some of it. But it feels like, I don't know, around 2005, six, somewhere around in there when W was president, and the housing market crashed, and then the cars issue. I forget what you call it, but like when the car places need to be bailed out. Like, it feels like that, but it's being hidden by manipulation of the stock market and held up by AI. I think that is manipulating the economy just a tad so that we don't see it and we don't necessarily feel it as quickly. So I think we're in a dangerous place though, um, because now the people who previously didn't feel it are now feeling it. So again, elections have consequences. We really, 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 really need everybody to lock in for this midterms. And the other thing is, man, again, please continue fighting for justice for these young black people who have lost their lives. There's also a young girl who um, apparently was found hanging from a tree in the South. Again, another black teen hanging from a tree. I feel like that's not a coincidence. You don't normally see black people hanging themselves from a tree, especially in the South. It just does not make any sense. But um, yeah, we need justice. We need people to keep fighting for this. We need the public to keep fighting. Um, all of the things. So yeah, let's do the right thing. Let's go lock in. Let's do what we need to do. Let's build community. Let's keep praying for each other. Let's keep covering each other. And another thing is the community piece. The church needs to do its bigger part on that. I know there's a lot of churches out here. Now I'm not going to take that away from them. There's a lot of churches out here that are doing the work, secretly doing the work, and you just won't know it. Um, they're helping their community. They're helping their members by feeding them, paying a bill, all the things. But we need more of it. We need the church to be set front and center in all of this. The right church, the church that really knows the Lord and knows Christ. So we need that church to stand up and show its face and be front and center. It reminds me of, I think it's in Acts, when the apostles um, had gathered together and all of the people that were with them had brought something, had put something into the church and gave what they had so that everybody could have. So that's what we kind of need to do again, is build a church and have trustworthy leaders that are covering and taking care of this and not, eating for themselves, eating more for themselves than those around them. Everybody should be able to eat, have equal opportunity to eat and access to eat and take care of themselves. I don't see anything wrong with that. And I can't understand why everybody struggles with everybody being healthy, everybody being able to eat, and everybody being able to have access. I don't understand the issue with that. I can't wrap my mind around the problem with everybody having access to what they need. What is the problem with that? I feel like all it is selfishness. Everybody want to be an individual. Nobody wants to be a team. That's a problem, and that's sad. And that's why we are where we are right now. America is going to continue to suffer like this if we do not get out of that mindset. We have to get out of that mindset. Everybody is not for themselves. We have to build community. The village. We need the village. We need the village. But what if the village, I'm not going to say the word, but nah, we really need to build a village again. Like, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to be a family. And that's what we used to have until everybody started saying, I'm a fend for myself. And look what happens when you fend for yourself. You can do it for a little while, but then it gets hard, especially when you hit a tough spot. It gets tough. But yeah, I really want us to do better. I want us to be better, to move better, to think better. I want us to actually read books, read articles, legit articles. And if you're gonna listen to a podcast, listen to a podcast of someone who knows what they're talking about, who does research, who is educated, who reads a book. Not those who think they know it all, go off all of just their feelings, their racism, their bigotry, um, their misogyny, all of the things. No, you need an educated person that you need to listen to, someone who knows what they're talking about and understands how this world actually works. If you want to listen to somebody, listen to them. But Pick up a book, read, research, all the things to help you understand. Also, learn about other cultures. You need to learn about other cultures, cultures that are not normally like yours. That's how you understand other people. I mean, honestly, it really helped me understand people better when I started traveling. I was going to different countries and seeing how they lived and how they ate and how they commune with other people. And it made me really respect other people, other cultures, and let me know that sometimes we are privileged too in some ways. Um, Very privileged. We get opportunity and access to a lot of things that other people do not. But still, there's limitations within the Black community too. Like, um, we don't have access to everything like everybody else does. But at least it's not as easy for us. We have to fight 10 times harder than our counterparts. You know, we have to get the degrees, and even with the degrees, you still are seen as someone who may not know it all, or may not be the one. You might be beaten out or paid less, even though you have the degrees, you have the education, um, and still is not enough. But that never held us back. So just again, we got to read, we got to research, we got to understand cultures, we got to understand people, know what they're about, what they're talking about, who they are, how they commune with each other, even their food, what does their food taste like, all of the things, man. Like, it's really good to just immerse yourself within other cultures so that you can understand people better and understand their struggles, understand what they go through and what they've been through and why they do the things that they do. Now, it makes you treat people better too. So, yeah, I mean, what a strange time we're in, man. I really hope that, things start to change around and soon. And I have a feeling that if things don't, the Lord is going to show his hand. Um, it's going to show his hand. And maybe that's on purpose. And maybe some of this is allowed because of that. Kind of like in the book of Exodus. You ask yourself, when you read Exodus, you ask yourself, God, why did you keep hardening Pharaoh's heart? Like, you could have just easily got those people out of there, and you could have just told, allow Pharaoh to just let the people go. But he said, I gotta do this so that Pharaoh can see my glory, that he can see who I am, that he's not bigger than the program. He thinks he's a god, but he's not. Or like Nebuchadnezzar, he could have easily, done what he needed to do with Nebuchadnezzar. But he took his time on him and said, you will eat like a beast in the field until you realize I am the Lord thy God. And until you say that, until you admit that, you're going to always eat like a beast in the field. And maybe, just maybe, that is why the Lord is allowing some of this stuff to happen, to show his hand. Who knows? I'm just a person who is just rambling on here, um, and talking about things that I'm passionate about. I'm just praying that things begin to shift, though. I want everybody's life to be better. We could be so much further right now, but we're not, simply because uneducated people voted for this man in, and they were upset because they felt like that he was good with money and they were struggling too in some ways. I get it. I get it. But do you realize the reason why the economy had to bounce back again was because of Trump's first presidency, his first term? You all thought that he was good with money. He wasn't. He was not. He was riding off the back of Obama's economy. Do you realize as soon as his term was about to end, the economy got really bad, and also a pandemic hit because he also thought it's cool to let go of the people that, are trained to look at infectious diseases and viruses and things. We don't need them. And the economy started to go to trash again. Biden comes in, and the economy, he's bouncing the economy back faster than anybody's ever done it. But you all blamed him for Trump's economy. You blamed him for Trump's economy. The economy was bouncing back, and it was riding off that. And then he comes in again, riding off Biden's economy that was coming back, and now it's getting worse. It's getting bad. He started a war that you all said you didn't want. You didn't want no more foreign wars. You claimed that Harris was going to do that, and look what he did. Went right to war over nothing. The story's been changed so many times. First, it was the change of regime. We're going to set the people free. Now it's the nuclear weapons. Oh, now it's the Strait of Hormuz, which was open, by the way, before this war. So, come on, y'all. We have to be reading. We have to understand. Think logically and think sensibly. Come on, y'all. You got to be smarter than this. And also, you all are glorifying a billionaire now. Though you're never going to see that. You're never going to see $1 billion. You've never even touched 6 figures before, and you thought that he was going to do that for you. Farmers almost losing their farms, or some did. Like, those people voted that in. They wanted that. And say, I didn't vote for that. Yes, you did. He said everything he was going to do. But you didn't think that it was going to hurt you, but it did. It got you. And it got y'all a little worse than it got us, for real. But, and a part of me is kind of glad that you all are now understanding. Some of you are now understanding what we've been talking about. We were not just thinking about ourselves. We were thinking about you too. We were thinking about you when we casted our vote. We were thinking about $25,000 going to first-time home buyers. We were thinking about education. We were thinking about student loan forgiveness. We were thinking about universal health care. We were thinking about, everybody being able to have what they need. We were thinking about all those things when we casted our vote. We weren't thinking of just about ourselves. We're thinking about everybody. But you were thinking about yourself. You're being selfish. I'll never forget, I was working with a guy, a white guy, and he was a huge Trump supporter, ridiculous guy, low key. He kind of was real rude and nasty, but he talking about, I'm worried about my taxes. I don't care about nobody else. My taxes. I'm tired of paying all these taxes. Why I gotta pay all these taxes? But look at you now. We're in a worse situation than you were in. I'm not saying that Harris is perfect. Nobody's perfect, but she sure wouldn't have been this. I know she wouldn't. And some of you are too lazy to do your own research to know some of the things that she really worked on and really did and helped do, and the people that she talked to. Bruh. So, just rambling on this point, but I hope that we can make some better choices in the future. I want to have children one day. I want to be married, and I do not want them growing up in a economy, in a place, in a way like this. I would rather not have the kids until things are better. I know life goes up and down. It ebbs and flows. I get it. But right now, I do not want to bring them into anything like this. Not like this. Oh, and last thing, you got ICE out here just doing whatever they want to do. I think, was it this year they killed 2 Americans in the street? They probably killed way more people than that. We just don't know about it. Killed another man recently in the street. Man going to his job. Like, this man has been living here 30 some years. You know what I'm saying? And then had the right paperwork and was working on getting his citizenship. Or at least a visa. Something he was trying to get. I just do not understand the purpose of any of this. And if you're going to do deportation, or whatever the case may be, do it the right way. Have the right conversations. Go through the right channels, the right protocol, all of that stuff. But what you're doing right now is downright evil. It's giving Nazi for real. It's evil, evil. So yeah, I don't know. Um, it's so many things happening right now. So many things in this world just going crazy and wrong. And I'll just leave you all with this. Though everything is going wrong, everything is crazy. The one thing I know that has not changed is God. Now, am I happiest with Him right now? I am not, because I want things my way sometimes, but everything's not going to be my way. However, I know He has not changed. I know He hasn't stopped loving me, and I know I didn't stop being His son. So, regardless of how I feel, I know He hasn't changed, and I know He's going to do what He needs to do, and we're going to get through this. We're going to push through this. We're gonna rock it out. Things are going to be just fine. All good. I love y'all. Go in peace. Make a difference. Build community. Stand up for your village.